All right, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy, Dash the True Inferno. And yes, do not adjust your sets. Throwback Tunes is back on a Thursday. Yeah, so it is indeed back. And the first album that I am going to review is Scorpion by Eve. So before I go on with this album, for those of you who forgot or don't know what Throwback Tunes is about, basically it goes like this. Basically, I pick an album or a mixtape that is 10 years old or older, and I review it. That's basically it. So don't expect to hear any the actual songs from these albums that I'm reviewing, because that could lead to a copyright strike and the video getting taken down, things of that nature. However, if you were to look in the description box, I will have for you a link that will give you the entire album. You know, whether it's a YouTube link, a Spotify link, or whatever. Normally, I would have a spot for you to listen to the entire album without having you download anything like that. So if you want to hear this album for yourself, the link will be in the description box below of this Throwback Tunes video and every other Throwback Tunes video that I do for that album. So with that said, let's get back to this one. Now, this album was actually requested 4 months ago by CD Galore. Basically, he left a comment because remember, I reviewed the Eve album before called Let There Be Eve, Rough Riders First Lady. That was her debut album, her mainstream debut album, that is. And I did that video in February last year. So this is like almost a year, actually no, 2 years ago. This is almost 2 years ago. And then 4 months, like 4 months ago from today, CD Galore hit me up saying, can you please review her albums? This one that I'm reviewing now and Evolution, which I would do not next week, but the week after. And you know, he basically would like to know my opinions on these albums whenever I came back from my hiatus. So here it is, CD Galore. Here's Scorpion by Eve. Again, I will hit up Evolution 2 weeks from now, so stay tuned for that. But let's get on to Scorpion. So this is her second studio album. Joint came out March 6, 2001. So this is my junior year after this. I was still in my junior year, and this was a day before my mom's birthday. And this joint came out on Rough Riders Entertainment and Interscope Records, obviously. Now, the album was recorded from 2000 to 2001, and the album features a Grammy-winning hit single, which we'll get into in a minute. So, Scorpion was a critical and commercial success, debuting at number 4 on the US Billboard 200 charts with first week sales of 162,000 copies, and became her second consecutive #1 album on the top R&B/hip-hop albums chart. Scorpion was later certified platinum by the RIAA on May 10th of the same year. So we're talking like 2 months later. And excess sales exceeding 1 million copies. And Scorpion was also nominated for Best Rap Album at the 44th Grammy Awards in 2002. So the album title is a reference to Eve's zodiac sign, Scorpio, obviously. So, there you go with that. Now let's look at the charts for this album and the certification. So it was 92nd on the Australian album charts, 73rd in the Austrian album charts, 20th in the Canadian album charts, 34th on the Dutch album charts, 37th on the French album charts, 32nd in the German album charts, 15th in New Zealand, 10th in Norwegian, 41st in the Swiss album charts, 22nd in the UK album charts, 4th in the UK Billboards, as I said, and #1 in the US top R&B/hip-hop album charts. So, like I said, it was platinum in the US, selling around, well, not around, but at least 1 million copies. It was also platinum in Canada, selling at least 100,000 copies. It sold the same amount in France, but they, classified that as gold. New Zealand also gave it a gold because it sold about 7,500 copies. And the United Kingdom gave it a silver because it sold 60,000 copies out there. And I believe that's it for this album. Yeah, that's it. All right. So let's get on to the tracks. And actually, before we get to the tracks, let's look at the producers involved here. So we got D. Dean, who was the executive producer. Rod Dean, also the executive producer. Swizz Beatz, who was the co-executive producer, as were J. Ice Pick Jackson, Dane Greasy, DJ Shook, Dr. Dre, Stevie. Is that Stevie or Stevie J? Oh, that's a smudge my laptop. So it's Stevie J. That's one person. Stephen Marley, Scott Scorch, Teflon, Eric McCain, and there's more producers here. Like, for example, oh no, I think, is that all of them? DBJ, that is all of them. I did say Ice Pick. Yep, I did say Eric. Yep, that's all of them. All right, so that's all the producers involved with this album. Now let's get on to the tracks. So there's 16 tracks. 3 of them are skits. meaning there's really 13 songs of this album, meaning I can only give you the top 3, not the top 5, because in case you forgot, if there's like 15 music tracks or more, I can give you a top 5. If it's less than that, then I would give you a top 3. So yeah, there you go with that. So the first track is called Intro. Yeah, there you go with that. Next up is Cowboy. Now here's the thing about Cowboy. Cowboy was remixed by Fatboy Slim for the soundtrack Blade 2. So that was pretty interesting. Now we're gonna get on to one of the 2 singles from this album, and that's Who's That Girl? And then of course we got the second single of this album, the 4th track, Let Me Blow Your Mind featuring Gwen Stefani. Next up is another skit called 3-Way featuring Eric and Stevie J, followed by You Had Me, You Lost Me. Obviously there's a comment in there. Track number 7 is called Got What You Need featuring Dragon and Swiss Beats, followed by Frontin' without the G, which is another skit. Next up is Gangsta, no ER, Gangsta Bitches featuring The Brat and Trina. And then track number 10 is called That's What It Is featuring Styles P. Next up is Scream Double R featuring DMX, followed by Thug in the Street featuring Dragon and The Lock. Next up is track number 13, No 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 featuring Damian Marley and Stephen Marley. They could be brothers, I don't know. But moving on, track number 14 is called You Ain't Getting None. There's no G in Get, well, there's no second G in Getting. Followed by Life Is So Hard featuring Tina Marie. And then the last track is called Be Me featuring Mashonda. So those are all the tracks. So let's talk about the only 2 singles really. The first single is called Who's That Girl? Basically, this single came out February 8, 2001. And let's see. It's her 5th US single, whereas it was a debut single throughout Europe. So the song peaked at number 47 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 6 in the United Kingdom. It was also 97 on VH1's 100 Greatest Songs of Hip Hop. So that's a pretty big honor, if I do say so myself. Oh my gosh, it got a lot of it made a lot of charts. So it was 42nd in the Belgian Ultra Top 50 Flanders, 15th in the Belgian Ultra Top 50 Wallonia. I will not say Belgium when I read those 2 charts from this point going forward. 10th in Denmark, 17th in France, 21st in Germany, 34th in Ireland, 46th in Italy, 16th in the Netherlands Dutch Top 40, 17th in the Netherlands Singles Top 100, 14th in Norway, 21st in Scotland, 29th in Sweden, 8th in Switzerland, 6th in both the UK singles charts and the UK dance charts, 3rd in the UK R&B charts, 47th in the US Billboard Hot 100, 16th in the US Hot R&B/Hip Hop Songs charts, and 12th in the US Rhythmic charts, however you pronounce that. Now by the end of the year, it was 79th in both the Belgian Ultra Top 50 Wallonia charts and out in France, 40th in Switzerland, and 153rd on the UK singles chart. So, yeah, I actually really like this song. We'll get more on this song later. Now for her second single, and possibly her biggest single to date, maybe, I don't know. And this is called Let Me Blow Your Mind featuring Gwen Stefani. Whatever happened to her? Like, she's still making music? I have no clue. This single came out May 15th, same year, 2001. And yeah, so it became Eve's highest charting single rather on the US Billboard Hot 100 alongside 2002's Gangsta Lovin', peaking at number 2. It also reached number 1 on the US mainstream top 40 charts. Worldwide, the song peaked at number 29 in Canada, number 4 in Australia, and the United Kingdom. And also, let me see, the song was listed at number 7 on the 2001 Pass and Drop list, a survey of several hundred music critics conducted by Robert Christgau. I never heard that. It won a Grammy Award in 2002 for Best Rap/Song Collaboration, which was a brand new category at the time. The music video won the 2001 MTV Video Music Awards for Best Female Video. Oh yeah, Who's That Girl got a music video as well, which I really like, by the way. So, let's see. I'm not gonna talk about the music video. Although it do have a bunch of cameos, like from Dr. Dre, and obviously, I believe The Lox was in it. I know Styles P and Jada was in it. Yeah, no, actually, just Jada and Styles P, not Chic. So just those 2. And obviously Gwen was in there as well. So yeah, there you go with that. And also actor Udo Kerr, hopefully I pronounced that name, K-I-E-R, yeah, Kerr was in this as well. Oh my gosh, these charts. Wow. Okay, like I said, it was 4th out in Australia, 6th in Austria, 67 in Brazil, 29th in Canada, 3rd in Denmark, 19th in Finland, 15th in France, 5th in Germany, 17th in Italy, 2nd in both Netherlands charts, Dutch top 40 and singles top 100, 7th in New Zealand, 11th in Portugal, 3rd in Scotland, 6th in Sweden, 4th in the UK singles charts, 2nd in the US Billboard Hot 100, 30th in the US Latin pop singles, 6th in the US mainstream top 40, and 20th in the US tropical airplay. And it was #1 in the following. Both Belgium charts, the Ultra Top 50 Flanders and the Ultra Top 50 Wallonia, Europe, Ireland, Norway, Switzerland, UK R&B charts, US Hot R&B/hip hop charts, and the US Rhythm charts. And then by the end of the year, it was 24th out in Australia, 68 in Austria, 18th in the Flanders charts, 15th in the Wallonia charts, 93rd in France, 69th in Germany, 24th in Ireland, 17th in the Netherlands single top 100, 32nd in New Zealand, 56th in Sweden, 6th in Switzerland, 45th in the UK singles charts, and 7th in the US Billboard Hot 100. And by the end of the decade, it was 95th in the US Billboard Hot 100 charts. And this single was platinum out in Austria and Belgium, selling 70,000 copies in Austria and 50,000 copies in Belgium. And it was gold in New Zealand, Switzerland, and the United Kingdom. New Zealand selling around 5,000 copies. Switzerland was 20,000 copies. In the United Kingdom, 400,000 copies. That's crazy. All right, so with that out the way, let's rank these songs from worst to first. And Got What You Need was the worst track off this album. The snare was weak, even though the melody was cool doing the verse, but they added this extra instrument doing the hook, and it was like, So, yeah, there you go with that. Moving on, Be Me. You know, the beat was okay, the melody was meh, nothing special there. Scream It Up All featuring DMX, the beat was okay. The snare was unique, so I like that. The lyrics really made this track more so than the beat, without question. You Ain't Getting None, the beat was okay, and it sounds like Swizz Beatz made this, but no, he did not make this one. All right, so here's some of my favorites right here, actually. So we got Life Is So Hard. That beat is cool. It's like an inspirational track done right, mostly, and the snare was decent there. Next up is That's What It Is, featuring Styles P. This is obviously Dr. Dre's beat, and it's cool. The beat is cool. Got that West Coast snare, and this was used for some freestyles. So like they were like, if you were listening to some of the freestyles back then, you might have heard somebody freestyle over this beat. Actually, next up is No No No. The beat is cool. Got that Jamaican feel. Obviously, when you're dealing with the Marleys, I guess the Marley brothers, I guess. Yeah, that's what you should expect. I like the snare though, but at the 3:17 mark, that's when E finally started rapping. You hear a bunch of singing, and I hate on the singing, but I'm just saying, it's like you gotta wait that long just to hear her rap. It's kind of crazy. Next up is Thug in the Street. This is one of those typical Rough Rider songs where like most of the Rough Riders artists will jump on one track, and it got this freestyle feel, and most of the time it features the Locks and Dragons, without question. This beat is a bit hard. The snare is cool. The melody used in the verses sounds better than the hook, the melody that we used in the hook. Like they added something to it, and I'm like, But the lyrics made this track slightly more than the beat does. So there you go with that. And then we got Gangsta Bitches, rather, featuring the Brat and Trina. The beat is cool. I like the snare. This is obviously a Swizz Beatz beat. But yeah, and of course the Brat, you know, I already find her to be somewhat of a pretty good lyricist, and Trina's okay. But yeah, this track was pretty cool. And then the fourth best track off this album is Cowboy, another obvious Swizz Beatz track right here. Beat is very cool, and I like the snare. So let me give you guys my top 3 songs off this album. The third best song off this album is Let Me Blow Your Mind, featuring Gwen Stefani. You could tell Dr. Dre did this. Like if you were watching the music video and you didn't get to the end of the video, you could tell Dr. Dre did this without looking up anything. But this is mostly smooth. Obviously, you know what? I wouldn't say a laid back beat, but it's still smooth, but nevertheless, really like it. Next up is Who's That Girl, man? This is a classic. This is like one of the few times where somebody, whoever produced this beat, put the trumpet on the beat and it was used correctly. This is rare. So this is good. And I really like this song right here, Who's That Girl? Very good track. But yeah, it's the second best track off this album. The #1 track off this album is You Had Me, You Lost Me. This beat is dope, man, especially doing the verses. Like, oh man, the melody is sick. When I heard the melody doing the verse, I was like, oh my God. Like, I nearly lost my mind when I heard the melody doing the verse. The hook, I was like, it's like a tad bit going on, but the melody is just so sick. There's so much potential because, again, the extra instruments that they use in the hook, I don't know about that one. Then they should have used a different snare. The snare was a bit too weak. They should have used a different snare. But this beat is so dope, man, without question. So I had to put this one as the #1 track off this album. So let's look at some professional ratings. So Metacritic gave it a 70 out of 100. AllMusic gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Entertainment Weekly gave it an A. LA Weekly gave it a favorable review. NAE gave it a 10 out of 10. Pop Matters gave it a 5 out of 10. Robert Christgau gave it, I guess, a bomb rating. I guess that's what that is. Rolling Stones gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Spin gave it 7 out of 10. Raw the Sound, you take that 7 out of 10 times that by 10, that's what Raw the Sounds gave it, 70 out of 10, 100 rather. And Yahoo Music UK gave it a 5 out of 10. And David Brown, Entertainment Weekly, he the one who gave it an A. He said, more than just a dramatic improvement over its predecessor, Scorpion is the first female hip-hop project that even attempts to fill the void left by the miseducation of Lauryn Hill, which was a very good album. So, what do I think about this album? Well, like I said, that You Had Me, You Lost Me, like I really lost my mind when I heard that melody in the verse. I was like, bro, that joint looks sick as heck. Who's That Girl? Without question, that's one of my all-time favorite Eve songs right there. Maybe my favorite Eve song. I gotta listen to all her songs rather, and see where this ranks. I like Let Me Blow Your Mind. That one's pretty cool. Cowboy, Gangsta Bitches was pretty cool. Thug in the Street, obviously hard, without question. And you know, those are the ones I really like the most. So yeah, I'm gonna give this one 3.75 out of 5 stars. I would recommend that you download it and you keep it. That's what I recommend. So 3.75 out of 5 stars. There was no track on here that was bad, but like there was Got What You Need. I was like blah, but you know, outside of that, there was nothing that was like bad, you know, anything like that. So yeah, 3.75 out of 5 stars. I recommend you download it and you keep it. So yeah, and next week we're gonna review, as in me, gonna review a DMX album that was requested by somebody. So there you go with that. So with all that said, y'all know who this is. This your boy, the new Jay Gatsby, aka the new Stephen A. Smith, saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah.